So, ever since last summer, I've been walking to Wegmans just about every day. At least I've been trying to. I'd be lying if I said that I went to Wegmans every single day. After all, my dad does pick me up for a sleepover some weekends. And for obvious reasons, I can't walk to Wegmans when I'm at Dad's apartment because his apartment is too far away and I don't have my driver's license. It would take me all day to walk to Wegmans from there, and I don't even know how to get to that Wegmans from Dad's apartment. Some of you may have been asking why I do this, and one of the reasons is the money, but it's not just the money. I mean, Mom lets me keep all the money, but it's not like I wouldn't give her some of it if she asked for it. While it is nice to have the money, it's not just for the sake of having money. You see, making money today can help me in the future. For one thing, it can help pay for my college tuition. And afterwards, I can put it towards my retirement. In both cases, my future self would thank me for keeping the money. And if Mom ever needed it, I can easily give her some of it. I keep it in a bank account so it can get interest. And for one thing, it's good exercise, so I can lose weight from doing this sort of thing, or at least gain less. But in general, I've generally lost weight ever since I started. I think I used to weigh something like 210 pounds, and now I'm more like 180 ever since I started. Walking to Wegmans every day is what got me started on the Heejee account. And I think that in turn led to me eating at least a little bit healthier. If you saw my power meal, my dinners, and maybe the times when I got milk, when Dad took me out to eat, the only reason I didn't last time was maybe because there weren't free refills for the milk. This walking also helps to support the environment because I'm recycling plastic. Instead of spending resources to make new plastic bottles, we're spending less resources to reuse the plastic bottles we already made. I also met some nice neighbors, made some new friends from walking to Wegmans. One time they even drove me to Wegmans, and every now and then they give me bags full of bottles. And they let me keep that money too, but they let me keep that money. If they needed some of it, I would give it to them. It's not a completely stress-free job. There's always the worry of getting hit by a car or my house burning down while I'm away. But in general, it's a pretty relaxing job. For one thing, it gives me a chance to think, to reflect on the day, past memories, that sort of thing. I get to see my neighborhood when I go on these walks. And if walking's not good enough exercise, I can also jog or even run. And that's obviously even better exercise. When I do this at nighttime, I'm careful to look at the sidewalk so I don't trip and bang my head. I'm pretty sure the same thing applies for the daytime. And when I go to that neighbor's house, those friends I made, and I ring the doorbell, I only do so when I see one of their cars out, so that I have a reason to think they're home. And I make sure to stay there for at least a few minutes so I don't accidentally ding-dong ditch them. And when I do go, I do so slowly before continuing on my way. I have looked in their trash bin before, but that's because they once told me that they would be there. That those bottles might be there. And I haven't really done that in a long time. Like at least a month. I also have some small talk conversations, like how are you, have a nice evening, day, afternoon, that sort of thing. And while that isn't safe, the thing is, most people are nice. This isn't a world of darkness, it's a world of mostly light. That may be a bit biased because this is a developed country, but if so be it. That just means that the United States is a beacon of freedom and liberty. And it's not like the United States is the only country where most people are nice. I'm pretty sure that even in the worst countries, most people are still nice. Like Syria experiencing a civil war, Ukraine also experiencing a civil war. In those countries, most of the people aren't involved in the fighting. It's mainly soldiers and terrorists that are doing the fighting. Sure, the civilians can join the soldiers and the terrorists, but most of them don't. And that's because if everyone did, there would be no home front. In every war, there is a home front where we citizens go to work to produce important things for the war, like cars, tanks, shells, and coal and oil production. And we should shift away from coal and oil production because it produces bad pollution, and sooner or later we're gonna run out. It may seem like there's a large supply of it today, but that doesn't mean the same will hold true for tomorrow. If we want our nation to continue to thrive, we've got to move away from fossil fuels. And the reason why I got money today is because I'm going to be getting something for my family today. That's another thing that motivates me. Getting something for my family. Because if I didn't do it, who would? I know I don't have to do it, but it's still a nice thing to do. Going to Wegmans to return bottles means that my mom doesn't have to do it. And that's a good thing because it saves her time so she can have more free time after a hard day of work. My mom now has a job. I think it's at Wamoko, a nurse teacher at Wamoko. That's what I think the job is and where it's at. And you know, when I walk to Wegmans like this, when I still have mobile data, as long as I still have mobile data, I can watch Khan Academy videos and prepare for school tests in my subjects. I don't usually do that. I should start usually doing that. It would be a good thing for me to do, so I can get better grades in school. My grades in school are already very good, but I can do better if I put in the hard work. Whenever I ask if anyone needs help with the groceries, they always decline. And whenever I offer help to a Wegmans employee, they always decline. I would help them if they would accept it. I don't usually wear gloves when I go walking to Wegmans like this, but that's okay because I do typically wear a coat or something on cool nights like tonight. And I can keep my hands safe by putting them in the pockets. One in a pocket of my coat, and the other holding the bag of bottles. In this case, it's also holding the camera. Right now I'm using my left hand, and it feels fine. I'm currently warming my right hand. Whenever I go to a crosswalk, I always wait for the green man. It doesn't matter if the cars aren't moving, or if the lights are red. You always wait for the green man. And you know, another thing that kind of motivates me maybe a little bit is that it feels nice when I make that one green man cross light. That one that's automatic and right before the Greece Community Senior Center. That always feels nice. And while I'd be lying if I said that I always obeyed the green man on that crosswalk, meaning I didn't continue running when I was at the flashing red hand, meaning I wasn't supposed to start, I'd be lying. But I'll make sure that I always obey the green man from now on. Not even when there's still time, you know, when I have the flashing red hand. If I haven't started yet, I won't start until I get the green man again. If I just walk, it takes me about 45 minutes. And you know, sometimes the green man takes a long time to get here. but it's always worth the wait. And you gotta look both ways for cars so you don't get hurt. And it's also not very safe to run the crosswalks, even when the green man is there. And while I admit I'm guilty of doing that, I can try to stop doing that. It's just that I'm on the track team, and going fast can feel good sometimes. But sometimes I can't really run because I walk to Wegmans right after dinner, like I am today. So, and when I do run, it causes pain in my stomach and my side. And I think that might cause a hernia, so I won't be doing that anymore. So basically, I go to Wegmans because of money, kindness, love of the environment, and to myself, my own health, and just the community in general. The inauguration of a new president is pretty much always a new era for our country, because most presidents these days, every president in recent history has been with us for 8 years in office. And I'm just hoping that one day we can create a progressive America, one where all people are accepted. And the United States is a country that always pushes us forward. Don't make any mistakes. The United States is a country that pushes the world forward. But we can do more. We can prevent human rights violations. We can preserve the world for future generations. We can uphold the principle that every man is created equal, and every woman too. It took us so long to legalize gay marriage in every state. I think that if we work real hard, we can catch up with the rest of the world in providing freedom and liberty for all. After all, this country is the land of the free, the home of the brave, and the place where there is justice and liberty for all. And with that, I just want to say, have a nice day.